Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the LG G7 ThinQ. So that's the name of it this year. Obviously, previous years it's been the G5, the G6. It's the G7 ThinQ this year. You can see right here that is the branding on it. You might think it's called Think. It's not. It's ThinQ. So ThinQ is LG's new brand for all their AI technologies, and what that is, that's a combination of LG's own deep learning stuff, which they're calling Deep ThinQ, and on top of that, Google Assistant, and pretty much a variety of AI technologies working together to create ThinQ, and it even has its own Google Assistant button on the side. So we're going to unbox it. Now, the device you're looking at, this one, this is a pre-production unit. They gave this to me at the launch event, and you might have noticed that there have been a bunch of G7 ThinQ reviews going out, and because there was an embargo for that, but the rule was that if I wanted to review this device, I had to note in the review that it's a pre-production unit, so pretty much disqualifying any bugs that I find. So, I mean, in my mind, the point of a review is to give you the best summary of the device that I can, right? So if I can't tell you whether to buy a device based on a pre-production unit, I should be asking for the full retail unit, and that's what they did send me. So I do keep this one out because it's a beautiful. This is I think it's called Raspberry Rose, and it's a beautiful color for a phone. But this one is the gray model. And here we go. So it comes with this nice little cloth, which is excellent because the phone is, as you can see, just from my handling it in this video, we have a few smudges. So it is something of a fingerprint magnet. It's not terrible. I've seen worse fingerprint magnets on phones with glass backs. All right. It should have wireless charging too, so you do get the benefit of that glass back. So yeah, this is the gray model. It looks the same, obviously. I mean, there's not going to be huge differences between the pre-production model and the retail model, but I am there are a few bugs that I'm hoping that they worked out. So they moved the power button. This is no longer a button; it's now on the side, which is not really cool. I like that this was a button. It doesn't make sense to me to move it to being a separate button. But here, so this is going to boot up. We'll see what else is in the box. We have our SIM pin that's in a little plastic baggie here, and a Type A to Type C cable, because obviously this charges with Type C, and our USB Type A power adapter that includes fast charge technology. I believe it's a 12-watt charger. Don't quote me on that. Here we go. There are a lot of cool features with this phone. If you watch the launch of it, although I actually don't even know if they live streamed it, you'd see they didn't talk about specs. It was really only about a half hour, and they talked about the new features of the device, which are, in fairness, some pretty great features. Although there is a notch. We can see there's you can choose to turn it on or off, and they're calling it a second screen, which is smart if you ask me, because. And we can see it over here. I turned it off over here, but it still uses that area for notifications and such. So it kind of reminds me, everybody says that Essential is the first one to use a notch, and it actually, you think about it, it kind of was LG with the V10 and the V20, which had that second screen at the top, and it made sense to use it for notifications and stuff. It doesn't make sense to use it for apps because you have the cutout at the top. Alright, looks like we've got some stuff to agree to over here. And we agree. Alright, so we can see... no, we don't want to do that. Do not remove the battery. I love how we get those do not remove the battery things because you can't remove the battery, in fact. We can see it does not ship with the app drawer. You can turn it on through settings, though. I had to move the camera back here because it does remove that. So this phone has a super bright display, they're calling it, and it goes up to 1,000 nits. So you can see this is automatic brightness right here, and you see there's a ton of notifications, by the way, which is really kind of a pain. And something that I find when setting up an LG device is that they really, there's all this LG, do you want to copy your data from another device? And it's like, I don't need that. I just did that in Google account setup. So you could see, though, there's a huge difference in the brightness of the display when you turn on this super bright display. Now, One thing I don't love about it is that it's not automatic. This thing won't just flip on you, and I feel like it should. The AI feature is something that they're really promoting with this phone, and it seems like too much of it actually needs to be done manually. So if we go into the camera here, we have some new stuff, and we could choose between. This is another really frustrating thing. You could choose between 4:3 photos and 18:9 photos, and I'm seeing that a lot in cameras. Is that you're losing the 16:9 option, and I don't think they've added it back. So right. Oh, we do have 16:9. Okay, so it's Huawei that's not doing 16:9 anymore. I'm glad LG added it back. For video, we have 4K, we have 1080p 60 frames per second, 1080p 30 frames per second. I'm a little disappointed that there's no 4K 60 frames per second like you see on the new iPhones and the Galaxy S9. But that's alright. I mean, those are huge files. So we have the AI cam here. So maybe if we try to take a picture here, what this will do is it recognizes what you're looking at. All right. So now if we do this, you can see text messaging, fashionable document, and that's recognizing text. It can recognize all kinds of things, and then eventually it'll pop up with a settings. So it recognizes what's looking at and it adjusts the settings accordingly. So it's pretty cool. Honestly, it seems to take a little while on the pre-production unit. See, now it thinks it's a beach, so it just it vibrates a little and it goes across. So another thing it'll do is if you're looking at something that's really big and it thinks it should switch to the wide-angle second lens, it's going to tell you, so this thing will flash. All right, there's another feature which is it's called a super bright camera or something, and what that does is it boosts the brightness in the camera where low light photography is supposed to be much better, and so it kind of saturates the pixels. It says they combine 4 pixels into 1 or something like that, but and I tested this out and that seems to work really well also on the pre-production unit. I'm going to be looking forward to spending more time with this, but we can see that it shut off my bright display again, which honestly, it's kind of frustrating. This was a problem that I had with many LG phones, is that it's tough to use in direct sunlight. But so this should be a great feature for that, but it would be nice if I can keep it on if I want to. Other than that, it's your standard flagship Android phone. You can see it's beautiful with the design. I personally love that raspberry rose color. It does pick up fingerprints easily. But yeah, pretty standard specs. Snapdragon 845 processor, 64 gigs of storage. So it's not the 128 gigs that you'll find in like the V30 Plus, but yeah, it should be really nice. I'm excited to see what they do with the new V series handset later this year. But this is really cool. It's an LCD display, so you're not you might not get this brightness with an OLED display, but I guess we'll find out about that later this year. Oh, finally, there's also the Hi-Fi Quad DAC, which is a fantastic feature. They introduced this, I believe it was with the V10, might have been the V20, it was the V series though, where the Quad DAC, you can plug headphones, you could plug cheap headphones into this phone, and you listen to music, you can hear the difference between that and if you plug those headphones into another device. And it's a real difference, and you can see LG did include a headphone jack, which it will likely continue to do for the foreseeable future, because without that headphone jack, you don't have that feature. And it really is, I mean, the audio quality from an LG device these days is far superior to most other phones that you're going to use. But that's it for now. I'll have a review for this probably in a couple weeks, because most of the work is already done. I'm going to do some more testing with this phone, take some more pictures, check out the camera performance. There were a few issues that I had with the pre-production unit, like the camera was a little slow to snap a picture, and it didn't save a couple pictures, little things like that. Of course, I'll run benchmarks again on the new unit. And that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.